tell the American people, you're an expert, crime prevention research center, et cetera, crime research, you do it all. I constantly hear from Pete Buttigieg and others that these large millions and millions of unattached males, poorly educated, come into America, and they don't commit crime in the same way, in the same volume as native-born Americans. Why is that a lie?
Usually the numbers that they point to kind of mix together legal immigrants and illegal immigrants. Legal immigrants actually do commit crime at very low rates. Illegal immigrants commit crimes at many times higher than the rate of native-born Americans. And, the problem is that most states, or virtually none of the states, will collect that data because it's kind of politically toxic for people to go and deal with these types of things.
Right.
The Trump administration was beginning to try to put that stuff together, but even within the bureaucracy and stuff, there was tremendous resistance to adequately getting that type of data together. And that's the big problem. But look, Buttigieg and the Democrats and the media want to go and claim, look, crime was going up under Trump and it's falling under Biden. And they keep on saying that, look, the polls, people are saying that they think crime is worse now, and the media has all these headlines that say crime is falling, but people erroneously think that it's going up. And my response is that the people have a lot better idea about what the crime data is than the media. If you go to most people and say, do you want to just look at the number of reported crimes, or do you want to look at total crime? I think most people would say you want to look at total crime because they may know that a lot of people over the last few years, as law enforcement's collapsed in this country, have stopped reporting crime to the police.
Right.
And so, but what happens is the media and Democratic politicians want to just say, well, we just want to look at the number of crimes reported to police. We don't want to look at total crimes. And unfortunately, the media fact checkers, when Trump or others make what I regard as the correct statements looking at total crime, the media fact checkers go out and say that he's lying on it.
And John
People
Lott
can find all that data on our website.
Well, give the American people the website, which I got to ask you to it. But is it crimeresearchcenter.com? What is the website?
Crimeresearch.org. Crimeresearch.org.
Okay. Now, secondly, I've had several topics on this about police agencies not asking the immigration status of a criminal. I know in urban areas, blue cities, blue states, no one is collecting the data as far as are you a legal citizen or not. So when Pete Buttigieg and others says, you know what, illegal immigrants don't commit much crime, it's because when arrested, many police are barred from asking about immigration status, correct? You don't know who's legal and who's illegal.
There are two issues.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there are two issues here. One is, you're right, a lot of police departments never even ask. But even the ones that do try to ask, the federal government is doing an absolutely horrible job of keeping records on those types of things and reporting that data to people.
So police do not ask immigration status. In many areas it is barred, yet they don't report to immigration authorities if they have an illegal. So the data that says illegals don't commit crime is completely false because we don't have the numbers. The gut tells me there are over the top increases, but you don't collect the data. And secondly, there are many police agencies, New York and L.A., that for a year or two reported no crimes because their computers are not in sync with the FBI computer. So maybe 19 to 40% of cities are not reporting crime to the FBI data center in Washington because they don't want to report it. They don't have to report it. It makes them look bad. They don't report it. And as you've pointed out many times, citizens themselves, it's worthless to call police in many areas. They don't come anyway. And they simply accept it as a cost of doing business, like in San Francisco. Who in the heck is ever going to call police when essentially the police come an hour or 2 or 3 hours later and they don't want to take a report because it doesn't make any difference? So these crime stats are all wrong.
Right. Well, Elon Musk said that one of the reasons why he's moving SpaceX and X from San Francisco to Texas is because a lot of his employees have just given up even reporting crimes to the police. But, the exact numbers in 2022, 32% of police departments in the United States didn't report any crime data to the FBI, and another 24% only partially reported crime data. So you had less than half of police departments report complete crime data to the FBI.
So it's accurate to say that crime is up, but reporting crime is way down, and it's for political and other purposes. But to hear the Democrats talk about it, Kamala Harris, et cetera, crime is at a 50-year low when that's a lie. Most Americans know it. You talk about SpaceX. Chevron a few days ago said we're moving the hell out of California. We can't take it anymore. We're going to Texas. California is another failed city state in which they don't function like New York City doesn't function. And those in charge of the Democrat Party are Hakeem Jeffries and Senator Schumer. They live a mile apart in New York City. And those in charge of the Congress from California are people like Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris. They all live together in San Francisco. And the San Francisco, New York are basically running the United States of America. At least you can say about the Republicans. Johnson, the speaker, is from Oklahoma. Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah, and the leader of the Senate's from Kentucky. At least it's a little bit dispersed. Now, lastly, you have a column posted about the issue of individuals who have weapons, the mandatory buyback programs, which means we know what guns you have. And Kamala Harris said it would be mandatory. We know what guns you have. We're going to knock on your door and we're going to pay. We're going to buy the guns from you. Now, her surrogates have said, well, we're not going to do that anymore. But you know, when she has the power, I can only imagine, John Lott, well, if she's elected the president, she's going to think those policies are the kind of policies that Americans want, and she's going to give it to them because she's from San Francisco, and the leadership of the Democrats are from New York City and Chicago, and they look at things completely differently than people that live in the Dakotas, people that live in Iowa. I live in Ohio, completely different. And so when you say crime is down, well, 32% never reported the crime. Citizens don't want to report crime because it is worthless. And all these proposals of Kamala Harris in the past have ruined the city of San Francisco. And just briefly, John Lott, I talked with you off the air about this. I had a positive sense about 2 or 3 weeks ago that Trump was going to win and there'll be sanity back into Washington. Now, with the media coverage of Kamala Harris, how great she is, a cross between Margaret Thatcher and Joan of Arc, do you have the same hope that the American people will understand these issues as we present it today? And do you have a sense there's going to be some hope or not?
Well, I have to have hope because I think it'll be an absolute disaster otherwise. But look, you talk about these changes, or at least the campaign's claims that she's changing her position. People just have to watch the videos from, just the last few years where she enthusiastically, said, it's not just that she wanted confiscation, she definitely wanted it. And she used words like that, and the enthusiasm that she had for banning fracking or making it so people would stop eating meat or forcing people to have to use paper straws rather than plastic straws. Even at the same time, she talked about how horrible paper straws were and how they collapsed when you used them and the taste and stuff like that. But, people just have to listen to the enthusiasm that she had for these things. And somebody doesn't go in a few years from being enthusiastic about all these different policy positions. And I hope the campaign and others, and people have probably seen this on X and stuff, but just play the videos over and over and over again. In Western Pennsylvania, they should have the fracking one just over and over and over again. There's like 5 different times where she was asked about fracking. She kept on saying definitely she was going to do it, or gun confiscation, the same thing. Well,
also she's against Christmas. We're going to play later her comments on Christmas. But John Lott, once again, crimeresearch.org, all the facts are there. And once again, John Lott, you're a great American. Keep hope alive. And thank you for coming on the Bill Cunningham Show. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Bill.
God bless you. Let's continue with more. I tell you what, I have hope if the American people become informed and don't listen to individuals like Pete Buttigieg and others talk about how crime is down 50-year low. Of course, there's no reporting of crime, but that's a different issue. Bill Cunningham, the great American, with you every Sunday night.